What's that? You unboxed a Karambit Crimson Web Knife? No, you didn't. You unboxed a SteelSeries Rival 300 CSGO Fade Edition, which is over here. So this is a mouse review, guys, and the mouse is in question is a £57 mouse that can be found on Amazon.co.uk and also on Amazon USA for $70. Make sure you check in link in the description for the Amazon links, and more than anything to check out my website, which goes into much more detail than this video review will do. Well, hopefully. So anyway, what is this mouse about? Well, if you guys play Counter-Strike like I do, pretty much like a no-life every day, and try and rank up but desperately lose to cheaters, then this mouse is the mouse that you want to be looking at. And even if you don't play Counter-Strike, it is still a mouse that you should look at, not only because of its design, but also because of its performance, and more on that in a little bit. So what do you get in this lovely packaging? Well, the lovely packaging gives you just a mouse and a useless manual which tells you, hey, go download the manual and all the drivers and stuff online, which is a good shout by SteelSeries, top marks, mate. But unfortunately, there's not really much to talk about for packaging as a reviewer, so there you go. Now the mouse is terminated by a USB, as you'd normally expect with any mouse out there in the world, but unfortunately it's not a braided cable, which is just a little bit of a downside considering its price. The Rival 100, which is just on its side, is a much cheaper mouse, which I've also reviewed, and it also has a non-braided cable, but given its price it's acceptable, but given this one's, it's, I guess, less acceptable. Not like a braided cable is going to make you a op god or any aim lock amazing cheater of some sort, but it's a mouse. It's just a feature that it's nice to have on a mouse, at least in my opinion. Now, in terms of the actual design and looks, I think it looks fantastic. It looks really good. Probably not as good as my Crimson Web custom painted Karambit, but it looks damn good, given it's a product you can actually buy, whereas the other one is kind of illegal. But in terms of getting this, guys, I mean, I think it looks fantastic. I don't know about you, but even if you're not into CSGO and if you don't know what a fade is, I mean, you should just get out of here. But why are you watching this video, basically? But anyway, even if you don't know what a fade is, I think it's a fantastic look. I mean, if you put it on any desk, I think it looks, it just really stands out. If I just bring the camera back just a little bit, you'll be able to see on my really lovely desk that you've got a beautiful keyboard on the left. I know, it's very sexy. But you've also got that mouse, which really just brings out life to your desk. If you compare it to other mice out there, as I said, like the Rival 100 or the Logitech G303, look how bland they look, and even if they had their lights on, it still wouldn't compare to this really colourful and beautiful mouse. So design-wise, fantastic. The fade color, in terms of those CSGO gamers like myself and no-lifers, will know that yes, it's a good fade and it's a 0.1 float value or 0.01 float value. So, you know, minimal wear, factory new actually, but it's a fantastic mouse to look at. Now, in terms of its ergonomics, it's really good to hold. In my opinion, it's got a, well, I've got a hand size from 16 to 18 centimeter. Hey ladies. Anyway, that's a medium-sized hand as for a guy. Sorry. The mouse fits really well. It doesn't feel like a claw grip mouse or anything like that, unlike these two mice over here, which are, you know, kind of awkward to hold, even though I actually use them on a daily basis. But yeah, it's something else. They just feel, this mouse just actually really feels really good in the palm of my hands. So if you're someone who wants to use that sort of grip, then it's going to be perfect for you. If you're someone who has got smaller hands, then it might not be suited for you. If you've got large hands, then just get out of here, get out of this planet, and just find a different mouse or manufacture your own mouse, because good luck and have fun trying to find a mouse for your hand size, which is gigantic. So anyway, I digress. So the mouse itself has a couple of buttons. So it's got two buttons on the left-hand side, one button at the top, and the three standard buttons, which are left, right, and a scroll wheel buttons. So they can be all fully customized through the software, which I'll get into in just a bit, and it means that you can, you know, put on some macros if you so wish, get some bunny hop scripts going, and get banned from Valve ASAP. So it's really good. And now I'm just going to go really quiet so you guys can actually hear the clicks. So as you could probably hear, the mouse is actually reasonably quiet and it has a soft sort of click to it. Therefore, meaning you're not going to disturb anyone, not like you're going to wake up anyone with a mouse anyway, but it just in terms of for your own concentration, I have reviewed some mice out there which have got really accentuated clicks. For example, the SteelSeries Sensei, funnily enough, has a really like clicky sound, which is kind of annoying, especially if you're rapidly clicking and like rapidly one tapping noobs across the map on D2 and being like a scream god or something. But you know, just trying to put it into perspective, it can annoy some people, and fortunately enough, it doesn't annoy me. However, on that point, I do feel that the buttons on the left-hand side are just a bit too soft. It seems really weird for me to say it, but considering it's a Counter-Strike related mouse or Counter-Strike branded mouse, I would have liked them to be just a little bit stiffer. That's what she said. And it would have just made the clicks just a little bit better when it comes to switching weapon or reloading or whatever it is. In comparison to my Logitech G303, for example, like if I click, this one, it just takes that extra little bit of effort to click it. It seems really, really trivial, but considering it's an FPS mouse, it's something that I really should mention, and something that maybe other people won't pick up on, just because, you know, when I game on it, I want it to be really precise when I'm clicking, rather than me like pushing it down. It's almost like comparing mechanical switches. If you take a, I don't know, MX Blue and compare it with a, I don't know, MX Black, that's what the difference feels like. So anyway, that's just my personal opinion, but it's something I should mention. The mouse is suited for right-handers, not left-handers, but left-handers could still probably use it, just that you'd be a little bit more uncomfortable. It's not like a mouse like the G303 or the Rival 100, which are pretty much symmetric. Despite being the buttons on the left-hand side, they can be used by left or right-handers, no matter. Now, what about its performance, which is arguably the most important part? Now, I was kind of worried, and yes, I'm scrolling down in my review to get the name of the sensor, because I've got short-term memory loss, I think. So it was something I was worried about because of, you know, its looks are fantastic, and potentially SteelSeries would have skipped out on the details. And fortunately, they haven't. The sensor inside is a Pixart PMW3310 optical sensor. It's the same one found in the regular Rival 300, which is, funnily enough, just a little bit cheaper than the CSGO Fade Edition. And basically, the sensor has 6,500 DPI, which is fantastic, and a polling rate of 1,000 Hertz. Pretty much standard, I would say, nothing too special about that. But in terms of the actual acceleration deceleration problems, there are none. The one-to-one tracking is fantastic. Its lift distance is around 1.5mm, which is great for flick shots. And there is no sort of sensor problems or misalignments. So some sensors, I've noticed that like when you're going from left to right, instead of it going normally, like imagine this is in-game, this is the in-game mouse, it's despite me showing you the physical mouse, it would go like that, or it would go like this. Whereas this one is staying really straight no matter what I do. Its performance is fantastic and it has no jittering effects, which again is great to find. In comparison to one of the best mice sensors I've ever owned or ever had, which is found in Logitech G303, that houses also a Pixart sensor, but it's the PMW3366, which is deemed as one of the best sensors on the market. It performs very well against that, and versus the Rival 100 does slightly better. So it is a fantastic mouse sensor and definitely recommended for any sort of gaming, especially fast-paced gaming like Counter-Strike. Now, speaking of Counter-Strike, I am going to launch up some Counter-Strike right now and just play against some bots because, you know, they're noobs and stuff, you know, they're just quite easy to kill. But the reason I'm launching it up is to show you GameSense. Now, it's just a real short thing I want to show you, but GameSense is essentially a SteelSeries software, which works with the mouse with the LED colors over here, which I forgot to mention can be fully customized through the software and made into any color you want. At the moment, it's on Color Shift, which basically cycles through colors. And Game Shift essentially usually, hopefully, will activate as soon as I launch into the game. So there we go. I've joined in a competitive match as a complete noob. But anyway, over here you can see I've got two different things. So I've got the ammo at the top and I've got the and the kills at the bottom. So as I'm just on spawn, I'm just going to shoot, and hopefully you'll be able to see that the color of my mouse over here is gone off. And when I reload, which just happened now, the color comes back. Anyway, it's a small thing I wanted to mention just because I thought it was cool. I don't think anyone will be actually using GameSense, because I don't think you'll be looking at your mouse, you'll be looking at your screen. But regardless, I think it's a cool feature to have, and it's nice to have that implementation straight with the mouse and the software. Anyway guys, I think it's a fantastic mouse. Even if you're not into CS, I think it's a great mouse to have. Given its performance and given its looks, which are really unique, it's a massive thumbs up from me. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you've liked this video. Make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you write "Great bait, mate." 8 out of 8